Wow, this is more awkward than I thought. This took me 3 hours to script and 4 days of putting off, like everything else. What's new? So, this is either day one of glow up era or flop era. Either way, you get the front seat, so it's just stick around. Oh my god. I'm wearing glasses, and these are not even prescription, by the way. I'm wearing glasses so that I can get a few words in. How do people just sit there and talk? Damn. Well, let's get right into it. I have been over prepping for this video personal journal. I have been over prepping to the point that I have a creative burnout right now. Nothing new, but like my hands can do the talking. Oh god. My overthinking mess is actually one of the reasons that I want to start this channel, diary, vlog. I forgot to put on headphones. Do I have to redo that? We're both hanging. He's hanging by the rail, I'll be hanging by. What if the voice is not good? Mario says hi too. Okay, let's take this seriously. So, one of the reasons that I wanted to start this thing was how much I overthink. Well, I overthink everything, but like when we're trying to do something new and perfection paralysis takes over, and you cannot post anything, you cannot put yourself out there until things are perfect. But perfect doesn't exist, so we end up doing nothing. So today I have decided I'm gonna hit record with my messy bullet line. I still have a bullet line, obviously. You have to prep a little bit. It's 2 pages, but it wasn't exactly scripted. Oh my god. This is so hard. Anyway, I have decided to press record and just go with it and not overthink this further. I'm judging the hell out of myself. Oh my god, how do people do this? Hey, good for you. Teach me. Getting to the actual points. First point is overthinking, perfection paralysis. We're stuck on that point. How do we perfect it to the point no one can question it? Third point, like a lot of people, I also have ideas. Shocker. And I have good ideas. If I were to expand on my ideas, they would be amazing ideas. But I chicken out. Also, like a lot of people. Because why not? We get stuck in this loop of outshine everyone, outshine ourselves. But at the end of the day, the people who are doing the things imperfectly are still ahead of us because they're actually doing something. And we get left behind with thoughts and ideas and regrets. Outside of this, I've also come to a realization that I tend to lose interest very fast. I have started more projects in my lifetime that I can count. The minute I lose motivation or inspiration, I stop and I drop the thing. That is not a sustainable way of working. Our attention spans are so small, we can barely stick to one thing. We lose focus and we lose interest and inspo. I have great ideas. Trust me, they're coming. The other thing that we also tend to suffer from is a fear of judgment. For me personally, I've let the fear of a prematurely balding guy. Where do I get an accent from when I start recording? And it's not a good accent. Anyway, there are many reasons that I want to start whatever I've decided on starting a channel, some place where I will be putting my growth, where I will be documenting my growth and let it be an inspiration for me, other people. The other day when I was journaling, I'm following this 7-day guide, and the topic of the day was fear. So fear of judgment, same, right? As I was tackling this issue and I was getting to the bottom of it, I realized that the person that I do not even give a shit about came up. Prematurely balding. Not that there's anything wrong with prematurely balding. Rock that shiny dome. When I realized their name popped up on the page, I was so pissed off with myself that I allowed this to happen for so long. I could have started this long ago and experienced so many new things. I'm not mad that I lost the time. Okay, fine. I'm a little bit mad that I lost it. But even now, even doing this right now, my voice is closing up because of that fear of judgment. Fear of judgment is something that really has taken a lot and has consumed too much of my own mind. Is fear of judgment really bigger than the fear of missing out on your life, missing out on experiences, missing out on connections that we could be making? These are important questions to ask yourself. And why should other people have all the fun? The other day I was doom scrolling. as always, as many of us do. And I realized, and it didn't just happen out of nowhere, obviously. So I'm working on myself, like I said, 70 challenge. And I'm starting to question my routine. And one of the things that I do often is doom scrolling. The first thing I noticed about doom scrolling, I'm not saying social media is inherently bad. That's a whole different topic. Doom scrolling and social media, it has made us silent observers to other people's lives. And we've been having parasocial relationships with strangers online. And the difference between the strangers and you and me is that the strangers are doing things. They are living lives. They are enjoying hobbies. And we are getting stimulated just by looking at them. We're getting the vibes, basically. But we're not actually having those experiences, right? I think that with all of this data that we're consuming on a daily basis, it brought me to the conclusion that we are entertaining ourselves to death. Serious matter. Going back to the part where the strangers are doers and we're thinkers, expanding a little bit more on that brings me to my next point. Thinking perfectly versus doing imperfectly. The other day I was taking a walk and I came across a few stores, small businesses, right? And I thought to myself, what is the difference between me and the owner of the store? Take a wild guess. Take a wild guess. I've not been talking about it for the past, I don't know however minutes has it been. The difference between me or you and them is that they started with a messy version of their idea and they built upon it and learned along the way, and they have done better than most of us. You and I can also do all those things that we're thinking about, but we will not because I personally have been waiting for some perfect to happen. I want to perfect my ideas before I put them out so that nobody can question it. First of all, perfect doesn't exist. But good is subjective. If I make something, some people might like it, some people will never like it. Me, on the other hand, I will never like my own things. Unless I work on my self-esteem issues, of course. But that's not the point. That's besides the point. The point here is we need to start doing more and do less thinking. And I'm beginning to realize burnouts are not always from working. Sometimes for people like us, it is from not working, but rather obsessing over the idea of perfection. At the end of the day, none of it matters, because it was never put out. I'm done trying to outdo myself. I am so done perfecting my ideas. I simply want to put my ideas out there, connect with like-minded people. I might be missing out on the most interesting parts of my life because I am busy sketching out while I could be living those realities. This is me creating a new reality for myself. As small as this action looks to other people, this is a very, very big thing for me. I have decided to let go of shame. I've decided to let go of my fear of judgment because the regret will be much greater. It will be much more heartbreaking if I miss out on the best parts and the best years of my life because I was ashamed of being called cringe. What is cringe? What does that even mean? So I look like an egg, but like, this will have to do. Oh god. And you know what? F it. If I fail, you'll see it. And maybe if this works out, you'll see that too. But at least at the end of the day, I can say that I tried. I want to be someone who can better articulate themselves. And I want to make new great connections. So if you've stumbled upon this, I'm sorry. And thank you for staying for this long. This is part 1 in series of this is part 1. That's all you need to know. So on here and on socials, I have decided that I want to try out a variety of things. But the main point remains. I want to explore, enjoy, experiment. I want to document myself for my future self as a reference point. Yeah. I'm not sure how long I will stick around, or maybe none of this will even do well and I will give up on it. But what is rejection in the face of regret? Until next time.